Welcome to stage 62, fitting the kneecap and the knee joint. What could possibly go wrong? So this is stage 62. Let's do a parts check before we begin. And part 1 is the knee joint, and I can see there's a little flat bit on the side there. Piece 2 is the outer right kneecap, which I can't get out, and this is another plastic piece, but again it looks really good. Piece number 3 is the inner right kneecap, and that's just a little shaped piece with it looks like a couple of screw holes perhaps. And then piece 4 is the joint center parts times 2, but as you can clearly see there is only one, so I will come back to that. And then we finish off with a little bag of mixed screws. One is 4 PM 3x6mm screws, and the other is 2 PM 3x12mm Allen screws. So I can see that those big ones are Allen screws, and obviously you can tell them apart because one is 6mm and one is 12mm. Okay, so I have thoroughly checked the instructions, and although it says that there are 2 joint center parts, going through the instructions I can see that we're only going to need the one. I believe we'll only need the one, and that one is going, actually we're using it on step 1, and what we're going to be doing is placing that onto there, just like we did in the previous issue where we put 2 of these on. This one's only going to need 1. So there's my test fit, and as again I can't get it off, so I'm going to get my super glue. I'm using Gorilla super glue gel, but you can use a super glue of your choice. I like this one. I mean, I've been using it a few years and it's always done me very well. So little bit of glue on there. Try not to get it right up to the edges because you don't want squeeze out, although I don't think I think you're gonna have to put an awful lot on to get squeeze out. So as you can see there, look, I probably put a bit too much on, but it's absolutely fine. And because I put a little bit more than I should have, perhaps I just need to give that a little bit longer to dry. But I think the glue's only there once you've got something on the top. I don't think that's really ever going to fall out anyway, even without glue. So the next step, step 3, we need these 2 parts. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to place the inner kneecap inside the outer like that, and we're going to glue it on those 2 points there, posts there. So again, I might as well use this straight out of the bottle. Little dollop there, little dollop there. Although the magazine does recommend placing it inside there with a cocktail stick, because of the applicator that I have for my glue, I'm going to actually place it on the small posts, and then that feels superb. So let's have a little test. Yeah, that's stuck in there really well. So step 5, we need to bring in the part from stage 61, if you remember this, and what we're going to be doing is we're looking for a couple of holes, and there's 2 holes there, and we're going to be placing this upright. Oh, there's also a square there, so 2 holes and a square, 2 pegs and a square peg, and that's going to go in like so. And that's a tricky fit actually, but that's how it's going to go on. So that dry fit is very good. And I am actually this time going to be using a cocktail stick, because we need to be putting glue into there and into there, and I think that to apply this straight from the bottle, I think is going to be pushing it a little bit much. So I'll put a little bit of glue into a waste pot, and then we can use our cocktail stick, apply glue to there, some inside the hole there, some inside there. We've already done the dry fit, so there we go. Give that a few seconds, then we'll give that a light pull. Oh god, yeah, that's in really well. So the next thing that we want is step 8. We need to take the part that we assembled earlier on, and that is going on this way around. So you see we've got 3 what looks like screw holes, and those recesses there are actually to line up these. So that's going to go in like that, and if you give it a wiggle, there we go. So now we know why this bit is flat. This flat bit is going to line up there, and that's going to go in like that, and then we will attach that with 3 PM 3x6 mm screws. So if you remember, we had 3 mm and 12 mm screws, so we want the shorter of the 2 screws. So these ones aren't needed for now. Yeah, so as always, let's pop the first one in just enough to bite. Lovely. Lovely. And the last one. Check the fit. Yep, fit's fine. So now we can continue to tighten these up. Remember, we're screwing into plastic, so we will let the screws tell us when they've gone in enough. So once the resistance increases, they're in, and we'll check there's no wobble there at all. So that's that part done. So what we need to do now is, I'm just popping these screws somewhere safe, because we need to bring in the leg. And looking at the orientation of the magazine, because this is the right leg that we're dealing with, but the magazine orientation actually shows it on the left, so that tells us that the model needs to be placed on its front. So bear with me, I've just got to manipulate his arm around, because he doesn't want to go flat with his leg sticking out. And I'm just going to move my camera a little bit. So what we are doing now is this tendon wants to go into there, like so, and then this piece, sorry, this piece then wants to slip into there, like so. So what we have now done is we formed a knee joint. So to show you that again from the side, so this tendon is going to go into there, and then we slide that into there like so. And then what we want to do next, we want the pieces that we made in stage 50, 59 and 60, which are these pieces, and these are metal, and what we want to do is pop those in. So bear with me, I've got my drawer all nice and neat. Now you'll see that although these two have got different shapes, that's because of the shape of the hole that they're going to go into. So I would place this one in first, because this has got a peg on it, and that should lock that knee into place. So now that knee isn't coming out. And then what we can do is just flip it slightly, and you'll see that there's a peg sticking out there, and on this hole there's a little square hole. So we need to line that up properly. There we go, that's gone in perfect. And then we will secure that with one screw, and you'll notice that there's it's a hex key fit. That's not actually the hex key that I got with the build. We did get supplied with a hex key, However, by choice, I like to use my own hex keys because I have these lovely interchangeable bits. So in this particular case, I'll be using my hex key bit. So what we need to do is screw that into there like so, and yeah, it does require quite a bit of tightening until the screw goes in, but that's in there nice and tight, and hopefully, there we go, this moves quite nicely. If you feel that you're struggling to move this leg, then what you can do is just slack off I'm going to deliberately slack it off too much, and you see there it now moves no problems at all. I would suggest that you tighten it up so that you can still move the leg and you also get the clicking. I don't know if you can hear that. I would say that's perfect, but that clicking is telling you that it's trying to hold it in place. So obviously as you position the knee, the leg, it will hold that position. So yeah, that is stage complete. So let's try and get, oops, I do apologize, all my parts are falling off him. I think a lot of these parts we were supposed to glue them in, and I chose not to glue them in, and you can see that I am regretting that now, but I will get that done. So let's move the T-800 onto his back, and you'll have to forgive some of his arm positions. See, this is what happens when you manhandle him. So let's move the light up so that I can move the camera up, and as you see, he's getting far too large now for my desk. So this is how the leg is coming along. So we've got his head, we've got his hand, which obviously is attached to his I still have that problem with the index finger. That's something I'm looking into. So we have a thumb, 4 fingers, we have the arm, we have the top arm, shoulder, we have a second shoulder in place, we have his spinal thoracic area, we have our mods that we've done in an earlier issue, so these don't wobble. We have this tendon here, and now we have this knee joint, and that really is coming along. So I'm going to leave it there, guys, and I hope to see you in another episode when we will be starting work on the lower right leg. Take care, guys. See you again.